Hello students, Instructor Pamela here. I would like to give an explanation providing on the conventions in your ICD-9 book. Now keep in mind that all of your coding books are reference books, meaning that you don't have to memorize a thing, but just follow the instructions verbatim, and you could always ensure that you are coding correctly because you are following the instructions, the guidelines, and the conventions according to how the book states to use them. So your conventions can be found in 3 areas in your book. In the beginning of the book, they will line out how the conventions look, what the meanings are, and give you different examples. You can also find the convention information within the first part of your guidelines. And also, if you take a look at pretty much all of the pages, at the bottom of the pages, you will see the conventions. So again, there are 3 areas within the ICD-9 book that you will find the conventions. The conventions are very important to pay attention to because they tell you when additional digits are needed, if a code is new, if it's revised, if it needs an underlining condition first. It will also indicate, again, how to code, how to sequence. And all of these symbols and conventions, again, are found in 3 parts of your book. So, the most important thing to remember is you're not memorizing or reading the book verbatim to memorize anything. Again, all of the information of how to code is in the guidelines, and if you always follow what the instructions say within the book, you can ensure that you're coding appropriately. So, couple of things that you can do. You can always write notes in your books. For example, if you turn to the first pages within the 3 different volumes, you can write your notes there to give you little hints or again, reminders of what to use or how to use particular codes or a section. For example, volume 3. If you go to volume 3, which is towards the back of the ICD-9 book, you will notice that these codes are for inpatient surgery coding only. So on the first page where it begins volume 3, you can go ahead and write that self a little note. Only use these codes if I'm an inpatient coder, for example. And you can do that throughout your books. Again, these books are for you to learn how to use the references, and they tell you step by step how to code. So don't get so maybe scared or intimidated by the size of the books or even the information. The bigger the books are, the better, because then you know that all the information that you need or seeking for is within the book. Especially always referencing the guidelines. If anybody ever asked you how to code something from a particular, let's say, area, colonoscopies, if you were doing screenings, if you needed to know how to code a screening colonoscopy for a diagnosis code, you would go into the appropriate area within the guidelines for screenings, which is represented by V codes, and then you would find how to code for a screening colonoscopy. So again, it doesn't matter where you end up working at or what your physicians or any of the healthcare facilities that you work at in the future, if they ever ask you any questions about coding, all you have to do is get the question, do a little research within the books, and then you'll be able to explain the information that the individuals are seeking. So again, dive into these books as references. That's what they're there for. And your conventions, again, are very imperative to understand what they are: the circles, the triangles, the X's, and all of the other conventions. They're hints, and they tell you basically, again, how to follow suit. So until next time, I hope this was a helpful tip for conventions for your ICD-9 book. Instructor Pamela here. Journey well. Bye-bye.